Hey everyone, welcome to the Curious Girl Diaries podcast. I'm Layla London, aka The Curious Girl. Now, just to let you know, this podcast is not suitable for work. It's also not suitable for anybody under 18. But the rest of you consenting adults, let's get ready to talk about my sex life, sex in general, and everything in between in explicit, raunchy, fun detail. All right, here we go. If the roles were reversed and it was me seeing someone that had a podcast, how would I handle it? I don't think I'd like it. For someone else to watch me just getting fucked. I mean, that's definitely on my list. It's a little fantasy I have in there. And moving forward, how do I define what's a good relationship? And what are the dynamics of that? All right, good morning, everyone. I've got a special treat this morning. I am in bed. And I'm not alone. I have BE with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we're going to do, I sort of, I guess, surprised him by bringing my microphone and kind of forced a podcast on him in the morning here. So we're going to talk about some things. I have a couple things written down. I don't really know. It's going to be a freewheel. We're freewheeling it. But we're kind of picking up where we last left off, and that was when we did, as you lovingly called it, our exit.
It was my exit interview.
That's right. Yes. And you were heading off to different pastures.
I was heading off to an exclusive relationship.
Yes. And could you just bring the listeners up to speed on what happened there?
Oh, good Lord. It was a journey, personal journey. I needed to find out if being exclusive with somebody, and that was last summer, was the right thing at that point in my life. And it was part of my own journey. As you've been on a journey, I was on a journey and still am. And it was a good opportunity to learn about myself, but ultimately was not the right situation.
Yeah.
No matter how good the sex was. The relationship itself.
How good was it?
It was pretty hot sometimes.
Oh.
She was a bit of a freak.
Oh.
I have discovered in myself that I prefer relationships with more than one partner.
Yeah.
And she was not open to that.
Yeah.
But beyond that, just in general, there are life incompatibilities, shall we say, that would have proven to be barriers and sources of conflict long term. So it was best at the end of the summer, kind of realizing that to end it and go our separate ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And you did.
Did.
And then you...
Away from any dating, just healing, recovering from that experience. Because I do, as I've mentioned before, really, I seek that special connection with somebody.
Yeah.
Even if I have, non-exclusive dating.
Yeah.
I won't date without having a really strong connection with somebody. I mean, I have to have that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it feels empty, to be honest.
Sure.
With you. So
yeah,
we had that at a point, and then as I moved on, I had to heal from that connection before I could have real open and new connections.
Yes.
So that's when I reached out back to you.
Yeah.
Late fall.
Yeah.
As it was.
Right. So fast forward to now, and we've been seeing each other again, having a lot of fun.
Yes.
And something that I think is new from last go round is you are now seeing couples.
I have been dating couples.
You go in as their, I guess, what do you call it? The bull.
I am the bull, the added spice.
Uh-huh.
As you put it the other day, the extra frosting on top of a frosted cake, so to speak.
That's right.
I get to come in and add that extra element of pleasure and passion to these relationships.
Yes. And how do you like that?
First off, I've really enjoyed that part of self-exploration. It's been eye-opening. Like I said, as much as I thought I might really want to have relationships with more than one partner, being in the situation with these couples has allowed me to watch their relationships and learn from them. Because, of course, I am the other partner. And it's been reaffirming in many ways that you can have a happy, healthy, open relationship, yet also have the participation of someone else, as long as it's, done with all honesty and confidence. And I prefer to have all parties present. I like that kind of threesome energy. And to be blunt, I would get really turned on by women who like the attention of two men at the same time.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
definitely
that works for me.
I can honestly say that's going to have to be I need to have that as a part of my life kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was definitely self-reaffirming from that
Right.
perspective.
So you kind of know now moving forward with a partner, you want somebody that's into having, groups. Well, I don't know if you call it group sex, but just you want someone that's wants to do more than just one-on-one encounters, more than one-on-one experiences with you. Like,
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Like I said, I've found it to be freeing.
Yeah.
Liberating.
Yeah.
I like to be a bit naughty and break and bend rules.
Sure.
That's just kind of in my nature. So having that as a part of your normal life is unusual.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's the energy, the sexual passion, just the general pleasures. It's different. It doesn't mean everything has to always have that. Of course not. But to know that you have that as an option, and the other partner would be okay with it and encourage it, that you both could get pleasure out of that experience, to me, that's a win-win.
Yeah. Right. Well, kind of like we were talking, like last night, I think we're kind of both in the same spot, and maybe our quandaries are a little bit different, but very similar. We're just like, okay, for me, right, I'm going to, the end of the year, be shutting this down. And then I'm kind of like, well, I sort of, as I was telling you, I have a self-evaluation, self-reflection going on. Like, what am I going to do? Or, how do I define moving forward? How do I define what's a good relationship, and what are the dynamics of that? And we were kind of talking about, you were saying like you lean more towards like the if you're doing couples play and there's more than one person involved, or more than one other counterpart involved, so 3 or 4, however you've got it laid out, that you want to be there, like you want it to be
a shared experience.
A shared experience. That's what you're saying. Yeah, shared experience. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm envisioning this, and honestly, I have not had this relationship yet. This is the direction I want to head. To have that foundational relationship with somebody I truly love, and we get each other, we are friends, we like each other, we have that real, honest to goodness bedrock relationship. But having that as a shared experience, to where that other person, when they join us, or other couple, it's something that we do together as a expansion of our relationship.
Right.
Now, as we were discussing, the idea of having a separate date night with somebody where, say for instance, I wouldn't be present.
Yeah.
How would I do that? And on one hand, do I feel a little threatened by that? Yeah, honestly, I do a little bit. On the other hand, if I have my bestie, my partner, my soulmate, my, however you want to describe it, I really care for that person, I know they have a certain pleasure zone or a way of getting to a certain place that honestly I don't help them get there, and it's okay. Not everybody does everything for their partners. It just is. Would I be okay knowing that my love went off to have a date with another guy, and this was the zone and the place they were going to go? And part of that, initially there's a hesitation there, a little, jealousy, for lack of a better phrase.
Sure.
Because
which we talked about, which I think is totally normal. Everyone's like, jealousy gets a bad rap. It's how you react to it. You can have those feelings. You can say, it's okay to say, oh, yeah, I feel a little jealous of that. But if that's as far as it goes, there's nothing wrong with that. I would feel the same way too. I mean, I've said 1,000 times on this podcast, like, if the roles were reversed and it was me seeing someone that had a podcast and it was this open and about seeing other people and all that stuff, how would I handle it? I don't think I'd like it. I mean, let me say, I probably know I wouldn't like it. If I really, really am into somebody, I'm just like, hey, listen, there's only room for one superstar, and that's me.
I thought I was a superstar. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like with another guy, I'm like, oh, I mean, but I say that a little bit jokingly. Of course, I'm obviously, I'm okay with people seeing other people, but, yeah, it does. But I guess what I'm acknowledging is it's a gray zone. It's just a gray zone,
It is.
and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's natural and normal, and people feel the way they feel, and as long as you're honest about it, then it's not a
It
big
really all
deal.
comes down to trust.
Yeah,
I would have to have that relationship where I am 100% trusting that their heart, their soul isn't going to go off with
right.
this other person,
Those are parts that belong to
right?
you.
And yeah, those are
Yeah,
parts that belong, and mine belong to them.
yeah,
Um, would it be a situation where I would like to meet that other guy at one point just to make that connection, and
yeah,
then they can go off? Yeah, probably.
yeah.
And that
Sure.
way, as
Yeah,
gentlemen, we would
yeah,
acknowledge the other person, and
yeah.
appreciate the other person. I
Right.
mean, because I can say, when I really care for somebody, and I tend to be a pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
Probably how I ended up as the BE.
You are.
I am a bit of a pleaser, and I would want the person I really care for to have that freedom to be and embrace that pleasure that is unique in that situation they find. And recognizing that we have something that's different that other people can't provide her. So,
Yeah,
from that standpoint, yeah, I would be okay with it. And I just want to trust it. And I would want to trust her and him to be a certain
yeah.
degree. I mean, let's be honest, there's a element of safety, right? You're going to go off
Sure.
on another guy. I got to make
Right.
sure that he's going to take care of you.
Sure.
That kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's all kind of a grayness here as you and I in our respective journeys
Yeah.
are looking forward to where is the next step in the
Right.
horizon,
Yeah. And
and
what is it?
and what does
Yeah.
it look like?
Right.
I know that this is a direction that I'm comfortable with,
Yeah.
that I'm looking to explore, and to find out if that is kind of the natural state of my next step.
Yeah. Yeah. And even then kind of going a little more in further down that rabbit hole, we did also talk about, well, like I was asking you, would you want to see me having sex with someone else where you were just watching and you couldn't participate, but you were just watching? And what, because normally, obviously, you want to participate.
That's true.
And then I was saying, well, how would you feel about, because I think that's, for me, that's kind of erotic, having the other person just watch you.
It would be, and I hadn't really contemplated that scene
Yeah.
before you asked.
Yeah.
Um, and if it was a threesome, but I was a non-participant, I think I would be okay. That's not my natural zone
Yeah.
to do that every time, um, but to have it where I could still have a connection with her, where yes,
Yeah.
she's with another guy, and I'm in that room. I'm not a cuckold in that kind
No,
of
no,
sense,
no, no.
right? But yet at the same time,
You're more of a
it is
voyeur because
it
it's
is
like,
a voyeur, very voyeuristic.
yeah,
But and I get to have that connection
yeah,
with the person that I love and watch her just get into a completely blissful pleasure zone. And to be honest, now that you asked me that,
yeah,
that is exactly the situation with one of the couples that I've dated.
yeah,
I am that guy who enables the wife to get to a pleasure zone that
uh,
she just honestly doesn't typically get to with her husband. I'm sure they've been married for 35 years and
yeah,
have a wonderful life relationship together. They would never trade that for the world. But seeing his wife be not a mom and a responsible person, that day-to-day
yeah,
caregiver,
sure.
and just become a woman, a sexual being,
A slut, his
a
dirty little
slut,
slut.
a slut, just embracing that
Yeah.
that
Her inner
part of her
slut.
personality
Yeah.
that she doesn't really get to inhabit on a daily
Sure.
basis.
Yeah.
He really enjoys that. Now he does want to be kind of present, in sometimes, of course, he participates.
Right.
But I kind of am starting to understand their relationship better,
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, which it's ironic you asked me that question.
Yeah.
Because now I'm thinking I would be putting myself in his shoes.
Yeah.
How would that feel?
Right.
Initially, I didn't quite understand it. The more I think about it, the more I understand that their relationship is so rock solid.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, they're so
I
solid.
mean, they are best friends. They are to the end that I'm not a threat to him.
No.
But rather I am, kind of the added spice that allows their relationship and his happiness for his wife's pleasure to really get to that highest level.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I haven't actually said that to him yet, but because this is actually kind of recent thoughts. A lot of this is conversation with you, but I actually will very much give him that feedback the next time I do talk to him.
Yeah.
Because as a man, I really respect what he's doing. That's pretty incredible.
I think so too. I mean, and and again, that's kind of like, that's why I was saying, like, these shared experiences, which direction are you willing to take them? And that, for me, like, I think for, someone else to watch me, like, getting fucked. I mean, that's hot. Like, that's definitely on my list. It's a little fantasy I have going around in there. And I don't know if it would be ongoing or anything like that, but just, like, there's something about, like, I don't know what I don't know what it is, but it gets me fired up, like, and
I like to see you fired up.
Well, you get to see it all the time.
But I know that the experiences you have with some of the other guys, I read and listen to the.
Yeah, you do.
I read the blog.
Some don't.
Listen to the
You do. Yeah.
And particularly because there was points in time when we didn't have contact, and that was kind of actually a voyeuristic way of actually staying in contact and hearing your voice.
Yeah.
Because I missed your voice.
Yeah. Aw.
And knowing and having you describe these, honestly, initially I do get a little jealous because, wow, this guy is able to do this and elicit this from her. I wish I had that. I wish I could do that. But then again, now that I've kind of had more experiences on my own and to have a kind of more general understanding of these interpersonal dynamics, I can now say, okay, everybody has their swim lanes. Yeah. Everybody has the things they're good at and they're natural at. And everybody's going to respond, you're going to respond differently to each of us.
Yeah.
But if I put myself into that future position, to know that you can allow yourself to get to that really blissful, pure spot of pleasure, I'm caring for you. I want you to get there.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to possess you.
Yeah.
I never would want to possess anybody. I would want to have that.
You did last night.
Well.
That was hot.
That was hot.
I know.
But I can say one idea is you can't have that relationship, excuse me, without having that. It means you have that wonderful foundation. I mean, to have what we're describing here, that basic relationship is like best friends. It is really the kind of thing that I think most of us are seeking in this life.
Yeah.
That allows us to expand off that. But that means we actually have it, which is freaking cool.
I know. Yeah.
Because ultimately, I do want to end up married someday. I've never been married. I
know you and I are kind of rare, I think, in that
we've had interesting life journeys to this point.
Yeah.
And
we both had our bouts with celibacy.
Both had bouts. Mine
yours was a lot longer. Jesus. Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
For good reasons. But
for anybody that's not up to speed on BE, listen to the first BE interview and you'll get the backstory. So anyway.
But I do want to be married. I want to find that, what do you call it, soulmate, best friend with boobs, whatever you want to describe
best friend with, yeah.
That's where I want to get to. And now it's a matter of, what do I want that relationship to really look and feel like?
Yeah.
What kind of freedoms do I want to have?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, I can be a slut sometimes. Who knows what is my pleasure zone. I would want to have the ability to explore that as well and never feel like I'm trapped. Because it was one thing, that relationship that I had last summer that was exclusive. At times I felt trapped.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
I was resisting it, and that's how I knew it wasn't right for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a little too just confining, I guess,
Right.
or you wanted. I thought that when you told me, I already told you this when you described her and where her mindset was at about other people and stuff. I just thought, you seemed like you really wanted to, when I met you, explore. You're finally like, hey, I'm ready to do this. And then when I saw you go off with somebody that I knew wasn't gonna let you do that, I thought, I don't know that that's gonna work. That he's really gonna want to live the rest of his life without at least having those experiences. Because then hey, that wasn't for me or that was for me. And that's been really what I've been able to do. And then also documenting it, which has been great. But I'll tell you, I want to skip back to something you said earlier when you were talking about listening to the podcast and reading and things like that. I think sometimes I have a hard time knowing that people are listening, because you're not the only one that does. Over this whole experience, the guys that, that maybe someone I didn't see anymore, now they were listening at the time, and or reading. And sometimes I feel like when I sit down to start to talk about something, or write something, I start to get I want to start to censor things. And, and I'm like, I just can't do that. And that's part of the other reason why it's like, this just obviously at some point has to just be shut down, so I can kind of have my private thoughts again be my private thoughts. But that's not doesn't say anything about the fact that anybody listens or reads it. It's just that, I'm aware of that. I get sensitive to it. I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm also like, hey, I said I would do this. I'm going to finish it up, and I'm going to, for my personal growth and just figuring out who I am and what I like and don't like sexually, I am going to stay honest and true and pure to it. And it's interesting how much I've learned about myself just personally as a human being through the sex stuff. It really, it's amazing. So I hope the legacy of this really is that more people do sexual road trips. They do their own, and they really start exploring, because don't you think, since you started and you've been doing, don't you think like, wow, look at how look at all the stuff you've learned about yourself and how your kind of horizons have expanded. And isn't it amazing?
No doubt.
This has been the one thing I think is just put my learning about me on steroids, like, do you feel like that too?
It has, and in fact, two things. Number one, if you go back to the original interview from last year, I think I said it then. I said thank you, because you kind of gave me not the template, but it was kind of validation and confirmation that this journey, this road trip was okay.
Yeah.
And in many senses, it helped encourage myself to actually start exploring and really pushing some of my boundaries.
Yeah.
And going off the map and you're right, putting that learning curve into overdrive.
Yeah.
So again, I want to say thank you, because a lot of my, self inhibitions that I've kind of released, I was able to do with you and through you. So that was awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And then the other thing is, I there are a couple of my friends that I have confided in about my personal life, about my journey, of who I'm seeing, or the whom's I'm seeing. And, they laugh because, well, in fact, one of them calls me a slut as a term of endearment now.
Yeah.
But they are really...
You are a little dirty little slut.
Well,
you're my little anal slut.
Absolutely. We need to do more of that.
I know.
But they've seen my journey over the last year and a half. And they sometimes shake their head going, I can't believe who you were to who you are now.
Yeah.
Now, who I am as a core is the same, but just in that facet of my life, I am
And sometimes,
wildly different.
sometimes I even say that I'm like, oh my gosh, is this my sweet BE? Like, just fucking the shit out of me right now, is this, or when
Sweet BE has a spicy, saucy
sweet
side.
BE is
Absolutely.
an animal at heart, and a sexual animal. And also, like, when that time, I'm so behind on the actual blogging, the writing about stuff, but that time when I forget where we were, but when I was just getting in your butt and
Mm.
with my vibrator, and I was just like, I so got into it put me in
You
such a
were
dominant space.
So dominant, yes. That was really natural for you, by the way.
Oh, it is. Well, yeah, it isn't. I mean, I'm a dominant woman. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just got it. I'm like, you little anal, you get over your little butt slut. Like, you like that? You little.
That was hot. That was hot. I have to say.
I know it was hot, and when I was, what, that really was surprising to me how fast I switched like into that.
Trust me, it was a surprise to me too. I'm not.
You're like, oh, is this my sweet Layla?
Oh my God! Well, I'm not typically a submissive kind of guy. I do.
But I got you there pretty quick.
Which you did, because as we've talked about, there's sometimes when you let go of the control.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
It's freeing. It's a little scary at first. Particularly as shall I say, forceful as you were in that moment. Well, I know you.
Yeah.
Yes. But
I'm the wallflower.
But it was also like a next level connection, shall we say.
Yeah.
Right. We were embracing parts of ourselves that we hadn't really embraced before with each other. I've not had a woman be that way with me before.
Manhandle you?
Or, I hadn't allowed a woman to ever do that with me before. And I was, something that literally was a little door cracking open, like, oh, what's in that room?
Right.
And no, I do want to go open that door all the way with you and see and go explore that.
I want to use your sex machine.
Yes. And I want to use it on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So finish up the damn remodeling. Don't be so weird about me seeing. Come on. Anyway. Yeah.
But I trust you. And from that standpoint, and that's why I am anxious to kind of explore with you in that sense, because I do have that it's a trust. It's a desire to experience it with you. Yeah. Not just, I'm not going out and being an anal slut for anybody.
No.
Street,
because I think there's a sensuality, and like you said, a trust that goes along with that. I mean, if you can just totally let go and get in that space with somebody, it's like, whoa. I mean,
there's a sense of surrender.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you surrendering to? Surrendering somewhat to that other person, but it's also just surrendering to the moment.
Yeah, right.
That moment of just pleasure. And this is why, going back to earlier in our conversation here, where you get to with Cowboy Ann is unique. As I've read the blogs and listened to the podcasts, you have these awesome experiences with all of us. But he takes you to a place that is, I would say, a pleasure zone unique into itself. And, if I was to, picture off into the future, and I'm with the love of my life, and they have the ability to go to that pleasure zone with someone other than me, but it's in a unique situation, how would I ever deny that if I care for them? Yeah. I'm going to encourage that in that trusting sense, because here I was, we were starting to play like that the other time. And, when you penetrate me like that, it is a complete surrender. Yeah. And you would be in control. So I've kind of started to understand what your situation might feel like with him. Wow, someone else is in control, and you're going to this place of pleasure that you don't have to drive the bus. Yeah. So you can just be the passenger and just really enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Because as guys, we tend to be the bus drivers.
Sure.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And that's typically what I am doing. And I like that. I mean, that's comfortable, but there's a different kind of pleasure, a different place that I don't want to visit every day. I mean,
Right.
I don't want to eat that special flavor of ice cream every day, or it's not going to become special anymore.
Yeah.
But to know that occasionally you want that pure, like that one little extra little bit, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I look forward to exploring that with you.
Yeah.
Because I want to go a little farther down this pleasure zone. I want to be a passenger on the bus a little bit more and see what's in that room that we just kind of, the door we just cracked open.
Yeah.
And as I, envision my future life, I'm okay as I'm talking this through right now on this podcast. I'm okay knowing that the love of my life will actually find that pleasure. And if it's with someone else in that situation, then I'm going to love them and want them to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And have that.
Yeah. No, I tell you, I'm with you on that. And for me, that whole just getting more and more submissive and exploring that and having those types of encounters, that's been the biggest revelation for me. I mean, it's just been, it's just shocked the shit out of me. And I love it. I appreciate, it's like, wow. I mean, that more than cracked a door for me. It just blew it open. And it also, made me be able to look back retrospectively on things and go, oh, that's why it didn't work with that guy. That's what, like, I could never figure out, like, why, like, it's perfect in every way, but there's just what is missing? Why can I not commit to this person? Like good guys that are like, hey, we got to get married here, and I'm like, no, we don't, like, because something was telling me, like, I don't know. And that's just probably that side of myself that I didn't understand yet. And that I needed to figure out, and I would have been able to with them. So, I mean, everything, happens for a reason, but, talking about blowing new doors off and going to different levels, we are, as we sit here right now, we are getting ready to, go meet with, and this will be the first time for me, a couple.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a date with another couple.
We're having a date with another couple
for
brunch.
It's a brunch day.
And they're very attractive.
Yes, sir.
And we're excited to...
We're going to meet somebody.
Yeah.
So it's as we had gone to the sex party, it's the next step kind of towards that evolution. Yes, the party was unique and interesting in its own way, but we didn't really meet anybody there. It was, where you kind of clicked.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, on appearance and in kind of written vibe through the communications, this couple seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Very intriguing, very alluring.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Hopefully, they find us similarly.
I know. What if we? Because I think I always say about, when I talk about you, I always say that we are attractive, and together we're like a good-looking couple.
Yes.
That's
no, I would agree.
Okay. Do you just okay? I don't say that like I'm not being vain. But what I'm like, what if we go and they're like, oh no, you two are not it.
Wow, what an ego boost or unboost.
What if we get knocked off our totem pole? Yeah. I know. Won't that be funny?
It is what it is.
I know. I mean, we're not going to float everybody's boat. Although I kind of think we should. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So that's there's something to look forward and update people on in the future. But maybe we'll be having an encounter with them, because obviously for me the last little bits of the stumbling blocks have been any sort of threesomes, or this would be a foursome,
right?
Depending on how they like to play. And it seems like they're new too, so that'll be kind of interesting. I kind of like that. Maybe they're not as set in their ways, so maybe they'll be more open to kind of like we're like we're kind of feeling it out. Yeah. We don't have any set, like we don't like this or we don't like that. But she didn't say that she wanted to go down on me, and I'm telling you, I want that. I want a girl that's going to go down on me, but I know it's awful, but I don't want to have to do it in the beginning. So somebody that's seasoned, you know, might be better. I don't know, because and they're okay with, they understand, like, oh, sure, I get it. You don't, you know, you're not ready for that yet, but I have no problem, you know,
hopefully
pleasing you, or my guy
experienced,
likes that to watch me do that. So it's hot for him. So I'm kind of doing it more for him, and you get the benefit of it. I don't know.
Well, one way or the other, it will make for some interesting table, discussion at the,
That's right.
the brunch table.
With
this
some more
morning.
pillow talk. We need to have pillow talk. This is pillow talk round one.
Yes,
We
it
need to
is.
have,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I know. And
I'm totally naked,
every-
by the way.
you are totally naked. What's going on
Totally
down there? We're stay the nighters now. I mean, we do
We
this
do.
every time I see you now. I stay the
Mhm.
night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really has become the
I
routine.
don't fucking run. I don't like.
Wow, is that another
That's kind of a milestone.
milestone there, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. I usually don't. Yeah.
I want to take that as a compliment.
That's a compliment. Yeah.
Ego boosters.
That's it. There we go. Yes. That speaks volumes about you. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll keep you posted on what happens next. Enjoy. It's the weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks so much for listening. And if you like what you hear, refer me to a friend, and make sure you're following me on social media. Also, go to the website, thecuriousgirldiaries.com, and join my subscribers only list for access to exclusive content. And as usual, questions or comments, you can always email me at curiousgirl@thecuriousgirldiaries.com.